there, creative fam. Welcome back for another episode of The Business of Storytelling with me, Caroline Cole. I am a professional, as you know, probably, writer and voiceover artist, and today we are in the voiceover realm again, and we are talking about one of the biggest challenges that can happen to you behind the mic. Yeah, we're talking about mouth noise because it can be a real issue this time of year. The cold air and the increase in holiday drinking activities can be difficult on your vocal instrument. But never fear, I've got a few hacks today to get us through. We'll talk about what you can do before and during recording, before recording, during recording, and of course after recording if you still have some stuff stuck, a little bit of mouth noise stuck in your final recording. We're gonna talk about ways to edit that out so that it's nice and clean. So stick around to the end so you know what to do from beginning your recording to turning it into a client. So while there are lots of things you can do after recording that we'll talk about in just a bit, the best thing you can do to eliminate mouth noise is hydrate. Look at this water. The main cause of mouth noise is dehydration. So you need to drink that water. Caffeine and alcohol are both dehydrating diuretics, so they naturally dehydrate your body. And unfortunately, like we were talking about, alcohol consumption in December can really spike, so you want to make sure that you're drinking at least twice the amount of water that you are drinking dehydrating substances like caffeinated tea, coffee, and alcohol. So hydrate like it's your job. Add more water to your routine. Also, if you are taking any medications, look those up online to see if they're dehydrating, because you might have to add a little more water to make up for any dehydrations in some medications that you're taking. So make sure you're checking on that as well. Limit your caffeine and alcohol as much as you can, especially if you have a project to record the next morning. Just, be a one-night teetotaler. Sip on some water or some, sparkling water or something. After hydration, a good vocal warm-up is imperative before you step into the booth. You want to make sure that your face and your muscles are relaxed. So some things that I like to do, one is called horse face. I'll go sideways so you can see it. It goes, and you just blow air out of your lips, and it helps release any tension here and any tension in your tongue and your lips. Horse face and lip bubbles I also like. So that's just basically that same thing, horse face with voice. So it's like, so it can loosen up that mucus to make sure you're draining properly and you don't sound like you have a cold when you're in the booth. So making sure that you do a significant and thorough vocal warm-up before you hop in to record is very important. When you are in the booth, you want to make sure that you are listening to yourself carefully. Of course, we always do this. We always listen to ourselves carefully. If you don't have listen back headphones that are plugged in, you need to get some of those so that you can be hearing your voice as you're recording it. And you can turn up the monitor volume on those to make sure you're really hearing the details that are in those. After a while, if you're attentive to hearing yourself, then you can start to hear when there's mouth noise. For example, I could hear it if there's a certain phrase that I'm saying that's hard for me to get my tongue around without hearing any mouth noise. I can have water in the booth with me, just take a little shot and retry the phrase again. I know that as I record 30 minutes in, I'm not as hydrated as I am when I started, because talking in and of itself is dehydrating. So you want to have that water with you, make sure you're listening, and make sure you're staying on top of your hydration while you are working as well. If you are still hearing a lot of mouth noise when you're in the booth, of course, you can try the green apple trick. You might have heard of this one before, and it is a really great help. It's really helpful. The kind of sourness that's in green apples will help suck up any extra liquid or spit or whatever you have going on in your mouth. It's really helpful, but it's temporary, and it'll probably only help you get through about 20 minutes of recording. So if you're doing a couple of quick commercial spots, awesome. Just, eat that green apple. I have these all the time with me in my home for whenever I need a little pick-me-up, but if you're working on an audiobook, you're gonna have to eat like 3 apples an hour. So you really wanna make sure that you're having these other habits that help you along too, because the green apple is a short, effective, but ultimately temporary fix. You've made hydration a habit. You've made your warm-up a habit so that you're loose and ready to go in the booth. You're listening to yourself clearly when you're recording so that you're picking up on clicks and pops sometimes as they happen, so you can go back and re-record, staying hydrated while you're going, and grab a green apple if necessary. Then you're editing. And somehow, some clicks and pops have made it into that final edit. Ugh. There are a couple of things you can do to make it still sound good and professional without having to, hydrate for another day and go back and try again. What you can do is this. You can turn down the gain a bit while editing so that it's the extraneous sounds are a little more muted while you're still clear. You don't want to turn it down too much, but you can turn it down like a couple of clicks there. That'll help it kind of dampen that mouth noise and those clicks. Also, when it's possible, you can edit out mouth noise. As long as it's not in the middle of a word, a lot of common clicks and pops will happen when we finish a sentence or before some of those vowels, the words that start with an A or U, those kinds of things. Those will be some obvious mouth noise that you can edit out. You just put some room noise on your clipboard and just copy and paste it on over that so that it's gone. If you have a really long recording and you have a lot of mouth noise, that's gonna be really time consuming. So again, your pre-production routines are really, really important, so you don't have to spend too much time on this. But there are tricks at the end. Turn down the gain, edit out mouth noise when possible. It's much easier on a shorter recording, like I said. I'm particularly vigilant when I'm doing short explainers or commercials. I will go in and get every little tiny pop and click because I know, this is gonna be, it's short and it's a little easier for me to do on a 30-second commercial than it is if I'm doing a whole audiobook. So that's easy enough for me to do on Audacity with the free software that I already use. I know that there are other paid for audio editing services that have some pretty awesome de-clicking plugins and other stuff that you can use if it gets to be a really big problem in longer things that you're editing. So I would recommend if it becomes a big problem for you that you might want to look into that kind of stuff as well. Actually, it's not part of this video, but in my summer class, we have a master class that's offered as a bonus by one of my editors, Josh Bengal, who goes through specifically how to edit out mouth noise at a higher level. This is really just, me, I know what I need to know, and then I don't know anymore. So to recap, hydrate until your pee is clear, friends. Avoid or limit dehydrating beverages like coffee or alcohol. Eat a green apple when you're in a pinch. Listen carefully when recording and do separate takes as necessary. You can dampen that gain in post-production and you can use room noise to cover up as many pops and clicks as you can. So good luck, my friends. May you make it through the holidays with not too much mouth noise. Thanks for joining the Business of Storytelling today. I'm Caroline Cole, and you can follow me, join the party on Instagram at Caroline Cole Stories or on Twitter at @CColeStories. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.